Welcome back to CC's Garage. It's been a while since I've recorded anything. Most everything you've been seeing was recorded prior to Hot Rod Power Tour, except that one car show was on the way home from Hot Rod Power Tour. I have been working on a few things, like my four-wheeler here, new tires, new rims, rebuilt the carburetor, had a little problem with the float, or not the float, the needle and seat that came in the kit, and it kept flooding. Wouldn't seal off all the way. As soon as it started idling and start leaking, I got to looking, and the needle was smaller than the one. I got smoke water jet parts in the garage. It came in a kit that I bought. So I found one that was close to the right side. A little bigger ID on it than the OD of the whole floor. And a little bigger OD, the outside diameter of the needle, bigger than the inside diameter of the seat. So I had a file outside edge down and would drop down in there. Got it sealed and perfect, running right now. I also been riding up the mountains of Tennessee, and I come back and I added this plate across the front. Just kept wanting to rear up with me up there. I've also done a little work on the convertible. Been about probably 10 years since I'd messed with the brakes on the back of it. I was driving it a couple of weeks ago, and the lower caliper anchor plate bolt come out, which is the one that bolts actually to the axle hub, and then the caliper bolts to it. So it was the bottom. When it kicked out and the way the tire rotates, it was catching on the, rubbing on the inside of the rim and then catching. At first I just thought, been a while, I need new brakes. Well, that wasn't the case. I've got a new rim here to go on it, but, oh, get this up. It broke and did that, so had to, went earlier to have it put on the rim, but the guy wasn't quite sure how to get it off because he said the part that goes down to the center from the tire side was way deeper, and he wasn't exactly confident without messing the rim up. But I just went and bought a 6-cylinder spare, stuck it on there to get it home, clamped out the brake line to where the caliper wouldn't do anything, and then put the new caliper mounting bracket on there. Now I went ahead and added new brake shoes to the back. Been doing a little work in the yard, trimming trees, trimming overgrowth back, so just trying to get it looking better. And the other day when I went to mow, I changed the filter and fluid in my transmission in my Silverado, and it just wasn't acting right. Well, it wasn't acting right when I changed it. Well, I got it changed. Finally got the transmission where it didn't want to slip. Even though I put enough fluid in it, it kept taking more. Finally get it up, and it's still not driving quite like it should. And I ran the code, checked the codes, and it's got a B solenoid sticking. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna go in the garage, shut you off while I cut the radio off in here. Okay, maybe you can see me a little better now that I'm out of the direct sunlight. Cut the lights on in here, and the radio loses signal. But, so the B solenoid went out, which is a shift solenoid. The only time I really notice it is when it's in taking off with the shifter in drive. It doesn't want to pull right in first gear. Put it in, you can upshift it, it'll do fine. Get it into overdrive, it'll kick into overdrive, and then it'll kind of jump back and forth out. So the B solenoid stuck in the off position. Right there's all the solenoid is. That's, I think, right at $16. So I went ahead and bought the A and B solenoid. I've already got the truck in here jacked up, getting ready to go back under there, pull the pan, drain the fluid, and put them in. So I'm going to get off here, figure out what all I need, and bring you back when I get started. Okay, I got some tools together. I went ahead and tried. There is a drain plug on the pan. Ever since this truck was new, The first time we ever changed it, or tried to change it, it wouldn't come out. It just started rounding. So, end up pulling the bolts and letting it drain that away. So, plan is to go ahead and get that started. And I end up having to remove something over here in this to get the pan off to keep from having to move the exhaust. So I wish the drain plug would come out, because if it would come out, then I could drain it through that and it'd be a lot less messy. Get it set up here where you can see. Now the pan bolts are 13 millimeter. I'm going to use my Milwaukee Impact. The pan I'm using here, I just cleaned out. I'm going to try to catch as much of this fluid as I can, because it is I just changed the filter and the fluid, so now I use the Impact to loosen them up and all, but I won't use the Impact to put them back in, because you're liable to strip them out or send a gasket or press a gasket out too far. Now grab my extension. Okay, got that front edge dropping down just a little bit. And then we'll come back in here. I really wish that drain plug would come out. because I keep seeing a mess all over the floor. Now this is a one-owner truck. I've owned it new since June of 2021. It's a 2000 model. It's got a little over 306,000 miles on it, and this is the original motor, transmission, and rear ends and all. I have done brake jobs. I've changed the alternator, the starter, the water pump. I'm trying to remember if I put a radiator in it or not, and I've put a fuel pump in it. So, other than this, it's still a good running truck. I mean, we've got some of these with the 6.0s in them at work that have over 400,000 miles on them. When we're dropping this pan down to drain it, it's definitely got to be boring, because it's boring me to do it. Well, that explains where that bolt went. Well, I'm gonna cut y'all for money back when I get it to start draining. Okay, I got the pan off. I ended up having to loosen the bolts on this side to get it to drop, and then pull this bracket over because it was catching. But here's the 2 solenoids I'm replacing. And as I said, when the pan dropped, I made a big old mess. Get you set up here. Now, I just got me a little hook to come in here and undo the wiring harness. Oh yeah, come on. That might be part of the reason my shift solenoid's not working. Get around here. Okay, this is the B solenoid. You see how much that thing's moving? Look. The A solenoid's tight. That could have a very good reason to do with why I'm having issues with it. Well, I lost the pick I was just using. well, I laid it in my lap. Couldn't see it on my dark pants. Okay. And that little clip's what holds the solenoids in. Get this other one. Wiring this other one unhooked. There we go. Both of them are undone. Okay, well that worked. I've really got to quit laying things on my lap. Okay, both solenoids are changed. Next thing I gotta do is put the filter back in and then get the pan back up in place. And looking at it, that one's still loose, so I don't know. Well, get off here. I'm going to bring you back when I get everything tightened up. Now we'll see how it works. Okay, finished up yesterday afternoon with the putting those two solenoids in. Got about 100 miles on the truck now. The check engine light for that's gone off. I still have it on for a oxygen sensor and the NOx sensor, which it's been on better than 8 years on the NOx sensor. Took the truck out today, give it a bath. Put about 100 miles on it since I've done this, and not had a bit of issues. So I was able to fix with the fluid what I thought was going to be a complete transmission rebuild for under $100. And this truck's got 306,000 miles on it and some change, and it's never had anything done to the 4L60, which all the transmission shops I've talked to have told me that that's unheard of. So, I mean, truck got a little service rust under it, a few dents and dings, but it's a one owner. I mean, I bought it new, like I said, in June of 2021. Got a good deal on it then, and I've used it for years just as a truck. I mean, up until I bought the 71 F350, this is what I chased parts for vehicles in. This is what I hauled tools in to go work on ambulances at work. I mean, so, not saying the easiest life, but hey, just to show you take care of something other than the paint, which the sun down here's baked it, they'll hold up. And next thing I'm going to be working on is replacing the window regulator in the passenger door, which I've had that done probably 4 times, and it's the first time the cable broke. The rest of the time it's been it just binds up, quits working. So I appreciate you watching CC's Garage, and we'll see you in the next one.